Okay, so we thought we'd change it up this week. Instead of us teaching a topic, a lot of y'all are having a lot of success in your businesses right now. So we want to hear what's working. We have some new consultants that haven't been consultants very long. We have some seasoned consultants. And then, so we want to hear if it's a booking tip that you're doing, that you're getting bookings by doing this, if it's a host coaching idea, if it's a something that's generating interest on your business page or your VIP group. So it's going to be a long 30 minutes if nobody shares, but that's why I posted in there a few days ago so that you have time to think about what you wanted to share. So does anybody want to start? No? I'll start with my tip. So in the host coaching script that's in the virtual party training group, there is a message for you to send your host to, it's kind of this is the last day of the party, send this to everybody, not just those that have been participating in the party, everybody that you've invited, and except for those that have ordered. And you send them that message, and then after you send that, then you send them the words to say, hey, thanks for being part of my party. She's going to be doing a grand prize drawing soon. Don't want you to miss. Here's the link if you forgot to order, or if you still need to order, with the link. And I promise you that message will get orders. It may get 1, it may get 20, it may get 5, but it makes all the difference in the world. Who has done that in their parties? Has anybody done that in their parties?
I did that.
Okay, and did it work?
Well, it worked in the party that I hosted. I think it got you a couple orders after that.
Yep, that was yeah, you were the host in that situation.
Yeah.
So you did what I asked, so it got you a couple more orders and helped you get there. I know Kay did this on her first round of parties as herself, and that she went from not qualified and barely qualified to quite a bit. So she worked it really good. Anybody else do this and had success? Shelly?
I do it on every show, but it always brings in about, $200, $300 in orders typically for me.
Yeah.
But I did it on a show that I had last week, and the host was sitting at about 450 in sales, and he sent that out on the last day, and the show ended at 1650.
Yeah, so I had a similar situation. It depends on your host. If they send it to everybody, now there will be cases where you'll only get 1 order, but you know what? That's 1 more order that you didn't have. But you have to let your host know that this is, I actually like to tell them that I'm going to give them this message during my host coaching. I let them know, hey, the last day of the party, I'm going to give you a message to send out as a reminder. So I do like to let them know that when I do my host coaching call. It's like 2 sentences out of my whole host coaching call, but I've kind of given them that mindset that that's going to be coming. Okay, so that's my tip. Who wants to go next?
I think it's good when you're doing a virtual party.
Mm-hmm.
This is to make sure that you're like talking when they make a comment, to kind of, as much as you can, to not just like it, but maybe reply to their comment.
Mm-hmm.
And say, oh yeah, I love that, or just so it just seems like you're really part of the group, and you're not just liking everything. You're like, oh my gosh, I love that too. This is what I do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that really was my last party. Like before, like the pre-party was like at 200, and then we ended up almost at 900, like 900.
Mm-hmm.
But I got feedback from several people that just some of the different things that I did, and by interacting that way, I think it does make a difference, because they don't look at you as much as a salesperson. They look at you as part of someone who is interacting.
Yes. I think you're very right in that, Liz. I think that it shows that you're part of the party. You're not in it for the end with the orders. Something that's a good rule of thumb is maybe if you're asking them to choose crunchy or smooth on peanut butter, you don't have to really necessarily comment on that. But if they make a comment about a product, or if they talk about one of their favorite products, then definitely comment on that. But the other thing to do, and you may do this and you just didn't say in your comment, is ask a question so the conversation continues. So definitely keep that conversation going. And then also try and bring them into Messenger as well whenever you have somebody that you're really talking to. So that's a really good tip though. Don't just that's a fantastic tip. So thank you, Liz. Who else has a tip?
It's not really a tip. I have a question. Like, I am having zero luck getting any bookings from this party that I'm doing now.
So what have you done?
I've commented on their stuff. Like in the party, I've commented and I'm like, hey, I have sent you a private message. Let's chat. And then everybody is always like, no. Or they don't message me back. So I don't.
Well, they may not see it if it's in their other mailbox unless you friend them first. Sometimes they don't see it. But what about, are you using your host to help you?
She's not really interacting with me very well, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, I've messaged her and tried to talk to her and not getting a whole lot out of her.
Okay. The host is a big part. I think, Kelly, do you have any other tips? I would say sounds like you're doing the steps you need to do, but the host is usually a big part. Shelley, what do you think?
Yeah, I would say that bookings, like everything else in your virtual show, all comes back down to host coaching. And it seems like that's strange, but it really is true. And when you set up your hosts in your first conversation with her, that you're going to be doing a booking challenge with her, and that the goal of the party is to get 3 bookings so we can maximize her rewards for her party, then that sort of sets the stage for the rest of the party. So you kind of let her know ahead of time that that's coming. And then so on the, say, 4th day of the party, when you reach out and you say, okay, today's booking day, we're going to be working on getting you those 3 bookings to maximize your host rewards. Then, she's a little bit ready for that and not like, what?
Right.
So I would say that that's the number one thing. And then also, like Angela mentioned, my method of reaching out to message people is always friend them, put a comment in the party to somewhere that they commented saying, thanks for your message, I'm sending you a fun message. And then you have to immediately send them that message. Hi, I just write, hi, it's the Pampered Chef lady. So, and you'll still get, if you message that to 30 people, you might get, 15 that accept your friend requests and 10 that, you end up chatting with. And from there, you might get 2 bookings, 1 or 2. So it's a numbers game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay.
I had a question, Angela, just real quick, because I read in your post today, you have your Facebook page, but then you have a VIP group. Can you explain how that's different and how you set that? I mean, you don't have to go way into it, but how is that different?
That's a good question. So your business page is how you run your parties. It's your business front. It's the store outside of the store. So just like if you were going to go to, say, I don't know, help me out here, Shelley, Bath and Body Works. Outside, you see what it is, the specials, or if they have ads or anything like that on the windows. When you go into the store, that's where you have the people that are helping you and the community, and they share ideas. Well, what scents do you like? And they're creating that community. So that's what your VIP group is, that community where you're sharing recipe ideas. You have them share their recipe ideas. You get that conversation going with your host and your customers so that they will go there to look for an idea, or they will go there to post something, or they will go there to have some fun. I'll post some of the engagement posts in my virtual parties I post on my VIP page. it's kind of like my PC family that's not my team. It's my PC family that's my host and my customers. Does that help? You're muted.
How do you set that up? Through Facebook too?
You can, yes, it is through Facebook. So what you can do is you can take your launch party that you did, the group that was your launch party, if you had that was just you, and you can convert that, make sure you add your business page to it. And if my business page is on there, let me know and I'll remove it, and then change the name and the banner and turn it, that way you've already got people in there. If you don't have that, just create a new group. I personally titled mine the same as my business page. I don't know, Susan.
So like your VIP group is Cooking with Chef Angela?
VIPs, yes. I just added VIPs on the end.
Oh, I see. But so like on the business page is where you kind of just post, okay, this is the month special. You kind of post sales or just kind of general things.
Correct. Yes.
Not to where people are always going to be interacting.
Right. And then the other thing that you do is your business page is public. So anytime, like tonight,
Oh, okay.
when I went live and made pretzels this weekend, I went live in my business page because my business page is public. If I would have gone live in my VIP group, it's private. If I wanted to share that video in one of my virtual parties, I couldn't, because it's in a private group. So unless they're in that group, they're not going to see my video if I post it. Whereas if I do the video on my business page, it's public, so I can share that video in any group.
Do you invite the people to the VIP group or do you add them?
Both. I
Okay.
have a post in my virtual parties that they get so many tickets if they join my VIP group.
And if they like your page?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're asking them to like your page and to join your VIP group.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Do you
All right,
have anything
thank
to add to
you.
that, Shelley?
No, I actually think that was really awesome. I like how you described it with the Bath and Body Works. That was
Okay. I was trying to figure out the best way. I was like, how do I explain this? But if
that's
you,
totally true.
if it's where you're getting to know people and they get to know you, and I may share something that, a family thing or something, sometimes I do that or whatever. I mean, it's not always about products and it's not always about sales. It's about getting to be there for your customers and getting to know them. Okay. Who else has a good tip or an idea or a question?
I have a tip. I've been really excited to share it. So
Okay.
this is a little tip, a little bitty one. And I was going to do a tip Tuesday, and then we had this meeting scheduled. So I was like, yay, I get to share it here.
Good.
So, okay. So one of the questions I get a whole lot is people ask me, or consultants ask, how do you calculate tickets and prizes at the end of your show?
Tell me.
Okay.
Tell me.
Okay. So I get this all the time, and I know it can be complicated. So believe me, you're not the only person that has stressed about this issue. I have personally stressed about this issue. And for the first 2 years that I did virtual shows, I literally every single show went through and calculated every single point and wrote down a list with little checks next to people's names, okay, for every single one, because I felt like that's what I should do, right? So then when I really bumped up my show schedule, that became like I was spending my entire day, like that was all I was doing, is writing tick marks next to people's names. That was all I had time to do. So that's not sustainable when you scale your business at all. So you have to figure out a system of shorthanding it. And this is what I've come up with. So now I don't worry about posts that people are getting 1 ticket or 2 tickets. Some posts I say, what's your favorite ice cream flavor for 2 tickets or something like that. I don't worry about 1 and 2 tickets. But then I have posts where they get 5, 10, or 15 tickets, right? Usually those are booking posts, recruiting posts, and what I call super recruiting posts, when they ask a question or join my business page or something like that. That's when they're getting like 15 tickets or 20 tickets. So on those posts with 5, 10, or 10 tickets, I put a hashtag at the bottom of the post, like I skip a few lines, and I just put hashtag tickets. Okay, all one word. And then I can go into my party at the end of my party and just search for hashtag tickets, and it's going to pull up all of those posts where I'm giving away the most tickets. So then I don't have to search through every post in my party and tick off, you know, every single point. I'm just pulling up those super ticket questions. And I can much quicker add up who has those tickets. So I will tell you too that in the way I calculate tickets is they get one ticket for each $1 of their order, you know, and of course they get 50 tickets when they book a party and 75 if they became a consultant or whatever it is. And so, so sometimes you don't have to calculate it all, because you can look, somebody placed a $350 order and they, you know, booked a party. So that's way too much. The 400 tickets is like way too many for anybody else to catch up, really. So you know that that's your winner. But most of the time in most parties, that's not the case. So this is a little faster way to do it.
And I want to add on to that. This last round, or maybe even last week, I used to have 1 ticket for this or get 2 tickets for commenting. I've totally taken all those little 1 ticket for this, 2 ticket for that. I just, you know, share a gift for this or tell us what you like, crunchy or smooth. I've taken that totally out, except for maybe the welcome post or share your favorite, the bigger tickets or a recruiting or a booking. And so I only have certain ones that have extra tickets besides the comments. So that's not even impacting, because they're still interacting even without that. Get 1 ticket for this or get 2 tickets for commenting. I don't even put that in there anymore, and it has not impacted the interaction. So
to clarify, you're not removing the post.
Correct.
You're just removing saying in the post, you're going to get 2 tickets for this.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Man, because they were going to comment anyway. They're not doing it necessarily for the tickets on those type of posts, because usually it's your engagement post. So that you're putting that on. So I've removed that. I do still have it on there. If they follow my business page or don't like my VIP group, they get 20 tickets. So I still have some of those, but I love the idea of the hashtag tickets, because sometimes I don't catch those. Does that make sense? So I think that's a great compliment to that. Very good tip. And you also, if you have more than 50 in your group, are y'all familiar with Group Insights? I see some nodding, some shaking their head.
No.
Let me share my screen really quick, and let me go to a party first. Let me share my screen and I will show,